Hello everyone and welcome to this Apex Online Racing evaluation race for the GT3 League. So, I've not shown you a race in a long time in Project Cars 2. Obviously we've got the Rallycross at the moment, but not a proper race like this. So this race is just an evaluation race. So it's all about just driving clean. It's all about the speed, and that's why I'm starting in 14th position, or 15th actually I should be in. It's just the guy on the left hasn't moved up a bit. But basically, I chose the R8. Nobody else has picked the R8 in this race, weirdly. I've never driven this car before. Jumped on Nurburgring, had about 3 laps, jumped straight into the lobby, and then kicking off this. So you might hear some voices in the background because you're going to be on Discord. I need to sort of solve that again, where you can hear Discord voices. However, the race has begun now. The rolling start has begun, and as you can see, we come down to the first corner very tight. Look at that TV camera. Look at that. How good is that for clean online multiplayer racing? Excellent. As we come through the first corner unscathed, continue on, a bit of contact there. So I'm thinking, okay, I'll stay in the middle of the track here. Just get a slight tag off that Lamborghini, which loses control, and then I go into a Ferrari and it gets hit massively. Fortunately, because it's an evaluation race, there's no damage, thankfully. Otherwise, I imagine my race would have gone very different. So, right now we're in 22nd position, and we've got a hell of a way to climb. Now, the good news is, I have made Elite League. So, you saw my Imola lap. I had to do a lap at Imola, and I had to do a lap at Sugo. Oh, we just have to brake suddenly. Guy behind us take avoiding action as well. But I made Elite League, so, you know, they're obviously happy with how I raced here and my fastest laps. My fastest laps were miles ahead of everybody, so I'm assuming that's what got me in as well. And the R8 in this race, at this point, is not the quickest. The Ferrari is still the quickest car. As you saw at Imola, I was flying. Never driven this car. Obviously, you can get this car faster. I didn't even choose a setup, really. I literally just picked one that was on the leaderboards. It wasn't even the quickest. I was like, oh, look how tight that was. I was going to do that, but then I'm like, no, race clean. You've got loads of time. It's an hour race, hour-long race. We've got time progression on there. So I picked soft tyres because someone recommended putting soft tyres on in the lobby beforehand and whacking 90 litres of fuel in, and that should be enough. So I was like, fair enough, I'll do that. Don't have to pit then. So the soft tyres I think is a good call because by the evening the temperature on the track has dropped a lot. As you see, we've made 2 positions already. You just see the Acura there just going a little bit wide here. Oh, a little bit of contact there. Just have to stop again just to make sure everybody gets around okay. And I'm looking on the inside now to head towards the last corner at Nurburgring. And we just come in and the Acura gets really close. However, this Audi is not very powerful on the straight, unfortunately. You'd want to be a bit quicker. However, the Acura gets ahead, so I take ping distance into consideration before coming back in. There's a lot of people in this lobby from all around the world. Just being careful there, coming in a bit later just to make sure there's no, like, you know, the car being closer to me than I think it is. He gives me room on the inside. That's all very well and good. As we continue on, and then look at this. Oh, now he dodges. We go left. We go right. We get around them all. Oh, God, it's funny, this. Obviously, we've got all different skill ranks in this evaluation race, so we're just trying to race clean, and we ended up side by side with the Acura still through there, but we make it round this right-hander, and we're ahead of the Acura now. So we're up to 18th from 23rd, and we started 15th. So 15th, 23rd, back to 18th, and we're just making our way through the field. We've got Jordier in the lead, and then Mr. Van Omen in there, and then a guy called Doc. Who else is in here? I'm not sure whether Fab Iceman's in here. Fab Iceman's obviously entered this as well. There's a few drivers you may know, a few drivers you may not know. But I am looking forward to this GT3 racing in the Elite League. I think it's going to be awesome fun. Just to race in a massive field. I think there's like 25-30 cars. I mean, look how good it was on TV camera. As you can see, it's been another big action up here involving the Lamborghini, actually. That was both Lamborghinis. Lamborghini's taking each other out. And then we've got a Ferrari in the middle of the track who manages to get out of the way. Up to 15th now. We're making our way through the field very nicely. I know I'm not going to win at this point because, as I say, I've not done that much practice. So all these laps, I mean, in qualifying, I went out 5 minutes later and I didn't come back in the pits to change tyres or anything like that. I just kept going round and round and round. Get some laps in, make sure I understand the car and the track and what I can do. Apex Online Racing, very hard way, just getting this Ferrari sideways there. That is the problem with the Ferraris, it can be quite twitchy, whereas this Audi is so stable. And I learned through this race, you can be more and more aggressive with this on the exit of a corner. But it does suffer with understeers, like here, the hairpin. You actually do want to drop down to first, as you see there. I dropped down to first, and suddenly the car turns in a lot more. You know, you realise that. Continue on a bit further in the race. This is the highlights of an hour race, by the way. I didn't want to bring you a whole hour, unless you do want to see that. Let me know, but some parts of this race obviously get a little bit quieter than other parts. We're right behind this AMG GT3 car now. We've got a Ferrari in front of us and a Porsche in front of him. Or her. Him or her, I don't know her gender. You know, in this day and age, you've got to be careful with what you say. But we continue racing all the same. So with Apex Online Racing, they're very strict with white lines. You've got to stay within the white lines. Obviously, 2 wheels on the track. And I make sure I keep to that. Same as the Le Mans race ages ago that I did with Apex Online Racing and RSR as well. You know, that was good racing. And as long as you know the rules, you follow those rules. So white lines, you stay within the white lines. If you're just going on in-game penalties, you go on in-game penalties. As long as you know the rules, it's all good and you can stick to those guys. That's what a clerk of the course would say to you in real life. These are the rules of the track. You can keep to those. You can use this part of the track. You can't use this part of the track. It's all fair game. So we come out of here. We continue on racing. We're still behind this AMG GT3. Hardway right behind us there as well. So we've got to keep an eye on them. But the AMG just runs slightly wide there, coming through the Schumacher S. And we're getting another position up to 13th position now. We've got the Ferrari in front of us. We've got to figure out a way to get past this Ferrari. Coming on to this back straight, I do love this track. It's one of my favourite tracks, this Nurburgring GP, because it's got such a nice selection of corners. The Schumacher S is really good. I mean, it tests precision, that corner. This chicane, you've got to be kind of lucky to get it right. Obviously, not so much in Apex Online Racing's GT3 League, because you've got to keep 2 wheels within the white lines, so it's much easier than trying to get a nice bump across the chicane. Yeah, I just love this track. I think it's awesome. It's got a nice selection of corners. Through this last corner we go, and onto the start-finish straight to finish lap number 5, I think that is. And as you can see, we're 1:59.1, so we're way off the pace at the moment, but we're racing, and it's been good fun, so that's kind of nice that I started in the mid-pack, because I'm having a good fun race. Just coming into the first corner, they both run wide. Hardway following me through on the inside. I'm going to be side by side with the Ferraris. We come up to this left-hander now. Oh, getting ever closer. May have been slight contact, not too sure. Going into the second part of this. I'm going to try and keep my position here because I want the inside for the right-hander. That's the thought process going through my mind, and I do get that. The Ferrari runs ever so slightly wide there. Obviously, when you're side by side, it's a little hard to stay within the track limits, but as long as you stay clean, it's fair enough. Didn't really gain an advantage yet. I ended up on the grass, in fact, and I get that position up to 12th position, and now we're chasing the Porsche 911 GT3 car. So we're going to chase hard as fast as we can. Hardway followed me through as well behind. So it's one of those where you've got to attack and defend. It's very difficult to do, but if you can nail it, you can do a bloody good job. So coming through this hairpin now, we're catching this Porsche really, really fast. I've not really used a Porsche in this game actually. Do you know, one thing I'd love to do is like a bop test in this game, but it's much harder to do the bop tests. Like I'm doing on GT Sport, just lose the rear end there. Hardway's going to have a run on me on the inside. We'll get back to that bop test in a minute, but I'm going to try and keep my line because it's a right-hander next, but obviously he's going to have a cutback method here. It's a perfect corner for the cutback when you're defending and attacking, so he goes for that. I get a good run out. He's going to go on the inside. However, this Porsche's had a really bad exit as well, so I'm going to keep my ground here. Which line is the Porsche going to pick? He goes to the right, so I'll stick to the left. It means I'm guaranteed to keep my position here. Hardway then obviously falls in behind, and we keep our lines here through the chicane and continue on with the race. You can just see the Audi struggling a little bit with the bump of the chicane there, and we'll keep pushing on to this Porsche. As I was saying briefly, just with this, it'd be also do a bop test, but we don't have a percentage value that we can adjust easily, so we'd have to do setups and all that lot, and I don't really want to get into all that shenanigans. So hopefully the bop test can keep being improved. Obviously we're using setups here, or some people are. Some people have spent lots of time on the setups. Obviously I haven't. You just see AMG overtaking Hardway there behind, but I haven't spent that much time on the setup, so I will look at doing a setup for the actual races, which is Circuit of the Americas, I think is first, and I've got a world record there in the Formula X, so let's see what we could do in the GT3 car there. Not fully decided on my car yet. I'm thinking I am going to use this R8, mainly because of the livery, the one I've got on at the moment, but I'll talk about the livery in a different video soon. As you can just see, we're going to try to go around the outside on this corner, very tricky, and then we go to the inside for here, and we actually pull this off, unbelievably. We're just going to have a better run out of that corner now as we head towards a hairpin, side by side, the side by side behind as well, hardware in the AMG GT3, and then the two Ferraris behind them were, but I've just got the inside here, first gear, keep the inside now, because it's a 180-degree corner, irrespective of the run the Porsche is going to get out, I'm going to be ahead, and I do get ahead, so I'm up to 11th position now. Easily done, and now we've got a nice big gap to the next pack, so I can start putting in some laps, trying to pull away from the pack behind me, and trying to get a few more positions in this race. We're nearly 30 seconds behind Jardier at this point, and we're only 15 minutes into the race, so you know, at this point it looks like we're going to get lapped. I don't want to get lapped. I don't want to ever get lapped. The only time I'll get lapped is like in the SMSR Championship, where I was in GT3 in the LMP2s. That's the only time. I'm not getting lapped any other way. As you can see, we're pushing on all the same. Just going around this right hand there, we just see a BMW, I think that is. And then somebody else in the gravel there. In fact, that could be another BMW. So through we go into 10th position there, making another position. Just merge those clips. And we're catching up to 9th place, as you can see. So we're up to down, well, we're getting down towards halfway mark now of this race. You just see the BMW of TP Master making a mistake there into the first corner. Just got his wheel on the curb in the braking zone, unsettled the car, got a bit of oversteer, and then we're right behind him now into this left-hander. So he's got to actually be careful a little bit here, because he will have overheated his tyres because of that slide. Because obviously you slide in, the tyres can get really hot through friction. I can't speak, but as you see, he makes a mistake because his tyres are overheated, and we get in our position up to 9th, and we continue on in the race. So you can just see we've got a Lamborghini ahead of us of Afterlife. Let's see what we could do there. Yummy Nutella seems to be following us through the field as well, but Afterlife up ahead. So we've seen a lot of people make mistakes as I get behind them for some reason. Maybe I've got some sort of pressure. Maybe this R8 livery just looks so aggressive it scares people, but they can't see this livery. As I can. So I don't know. It will scare people when it's out. We continue on. As you see, Afterlife made a mistake there. Into the last corner we go. And as we leave that corner, we continue to start finish line. And we advance a little bit further ahead. So you just see we're caught up to 7th and 6th place. Just clip the chicane. I'd push like hell for a few laps there. You can see my fastest laps were improving all the time. I had to really put the clutch in here as fast as I could to not stall the car. Just lose one position, thankfully. Lose a whole load of time though, and we're back behind Afterlife, frustratingly. So my mistake there in the race, just pushing that a little bit too hard. Advance another lap. We're right behind Afterlife now, and we're going to have a look at seeing where we can overtake Afterlife if they don't make a mistake. As you can see, we're still pushing on with these lap times. Coming into this first corner, he takes a defensive line. And we're just going to try and go for the cutback a little bit. Don't quite do it there, so he keeps a position. Coming into this left-hander. I'm trying to think of the best place now. The problem I have at this point in the race, tyres are, you know, fairly worn at this point. You know, we're just over half on the front tyres, so understeer is becoming a bit of an issue. And then we've got dirty air on top of that, so it's really a bit of an issue at the moment in following a car in this race. It's very hard to then place the car and try and get a good run on them. So we are thinking, where's the best place? Now, the hairpin can always be good if you can get alongside them towards the hairpin. Doing a complete dive bomb is a bit of a no-no, really. You've also got the long back straight, which I'm always thinking of overtaking there into the chicane. It's a very good place to overtake. And just coming into here, he just runs wide. I wish I was a bit closer, but I'm not close enough, unfortunately. You can just see my first gear to second gear. First gear to get round the corner. Second to really accelerate out of that corner and into the Schumacher rest we go. We don't clip the curb on the left-hand side, which makes us run a little bit wide there. Continue on towards its left-hander now. I do love this corner. I don't know why. This section of corners with its left and right, it's very flowing. It's very nice. And if you nail this corner right, this right-hander, you can have a brilliant straight in the last sector. You see Afterlife runs slightly wide there. I'm take the corner a bit more cautiously as we now head towards the chicane. Not quite close enough, I don't think, for an overtake as we come down there. You can see him going to the right hand side. I'm just showing myself in the mirrors a little bit. Not quite worked out there, and just clip the bump again. Look at the bump, it really unsettles the car, so perhaps I need to work on suspension if I ever do this track in GT3 R8 again to soften that blow a little bit. Coming out that last corner now, We're still not close enough here. We need the slipstream as well to really push past, because the Audi is struggling with straight line speed here on this track. As you saw with the Acura earlier on, really struggling with that top line speed, top end speed. But into the first corner we go again. Afterlife running slightly wide. Come on the inside. Just get a slight tap there on the inside as he lost it a little bit, so a bit of a slide. No harm done there. Through to 8th position. And we've got 20 minutes of the race to go to see if we can catch anybody up. So we've already caught up to the Nissan quite quickly here. Through the chicane we go. We avoid the bump this time. And the Nissan goes into the pits. So we're going to get another position here from F4H Marauder. And that's not too bad for us. So round this last corner we go and continue to start finish line. So that's another position. So we're looking to hunt down 6th position now. As we just get a new best lap there as well. So, you know, worn tyres, fuel's getting lower. Fuel weighs an awful lot in this game. I think it weighs a little bit too much. Don't get me wrong, fuel has a weight. I'm not saying it shouldn't have a weight. But it seems very odd that as a car gets lighter, it should get faster, but obviously the tyre wear and stuff, and the track's getting colder as well, so on a colder track you really shouldn't be setting your faster laps. It just feels like, oh, there's 6th place, I completely forgot about that. He spins on the left hand side, so we get another position here. We're up to 6th position. We're miles behind Zal at the moment. It's got to put in a lot of effort here. So yeah, I don't know if fuel weighs too much, I don't know. Continue racing all the same. We're behind a back marker at this point, Phantom Hamster. We've been behind for quite a while actually. My problem here is understeer. Again, because the tyres are even more worn now, and I've got dirty air, I'm really struggling with the corners. You just see me put my hand up there because I'm struggling with understeer. I'm really struggling. He lets me go, and I do flash my lights. I'm pretty sure there you go. Flash my lights once, just say thank you for letting me go. Continue on racing. And yeah, I'd say we're quite far behind Zal and the remaining, well, it's Zal all the way up to 2nd, isn't it, pretty much? So now we're just looking to maintain 6th position with 8 minutes of the race to go. Perhaps maybe put in a fastest lap if we can. Obviously you can see our fastest laps on the left hand side. A couple laps ago we got 58.3, which I think it might even be faster than our qualifying time. As we come in to the first corner. In qualifying I used soft as well when you should really use hards. Hards seem to be faster in GT3. But yeah, even so, we continue on. Through this left-hander, a back marker's just made a mistake up ahead. You don't see them on there, but you see it on the map. There's a blue marker right in the middle of the circuit there, this section. So we just get past that back marker, no problemo. Continue round. Avoid going all 4 wheels over that white line. And we advance a bit further on in the race. Look on the mini-map there. There's a white dot near the barrier. So what actually happened, I heard it on Discord as I was racing. That's why I was really attacking at this point. Was, I think, his game froze. And as your game freezes in Project Cars 2, it's still going on in the background. So he's gone into the barrier and then he's eventually got it out. So I'm 3 seconds behind Doc at the moment. And we're looking to, actually no, sorry, 2 seconds behind Doc. I don't know where 3 came from. Just another back marker making a mistake. That's Hardway from earlier on. We were racing Hardway earlier on, so we've just lapped them. Continue on. You can just see Doc in the distance, so perhaps struggling with tyres, I'm not sure, but we continue pushing on. We've got 2 laps to go, so this is the penultimate lap into the right hander of the first corner. Just braking, struggling with braking as the temperature gets colder. On the right side there's an AMG. You just see that on TV camera, don't see that on screen. I did hear that as I was racing, of course. And continue on round. So we are catching Doc little by little. It's getting closer in front of us. So that's what we want. Maybe we can catch up and fight for 5th position. That'd be really good going as we come out of the tight section of Sector 1. And we've got 15 seconds to go. So we're going to start the final lap. K-Way gets out the way on the right side. Thank you very much, K-Way. As we head towards the first corner, there's a back marker in between me and Doc at the moment. But Doc has actually increased that distance a little bit. Back marker just makes a mistake there. And then coming into this left-hander. I did wonder where he was going here. So I thought, okay, he's going to the outside. Then he came back to the inside. Then he went back to the outside. So I was a bit unsure with what he wanted to do here. He did mention that on Discord. He said I thought it was going around the outside. I was just trying to work out where you were, etc. No harm done anyway. We continue pushing on. It would have been hard to catch Doc. We just lose the rear end a little bit. As I say, it's getting very cold out there. Tyre wear getting lower and lower all the time. We've got left-hander, so you know we were trying to push towards Doc. It's going to be very hard to catch up to him. And you see someone else made a mistake behind us, one of the back markers. I think that was K-Way. Continue on towards the hairpin now, but a really enjoyable race. I think. I mean, you've had a third of the race. I've obviously experienced the whole race because I was there. It'd be nice to live stream this eventually. The Elite League, by the way, or all the leagues actually, I think, are cast. You know, somebody commentates on them. Obviously, the Elite League's obviously the big one. So if you are interested in watching me race in the Elite League, it's Apex Online Racing, so go to their forum, check them out. I'll put a link in the description to Apex Online Racing as well. Some names you recognise will be racing in the Elite League. So I've mentioned Jardier, I think Mr. Van Omen's in there, Fab Iceman, Vernux is in there. We've not raced with Vernux for ages. Vernux is in there. We've got Yorkies in there. You know, there's a fair few races in there. So it'll be good fun. It'll be a good championship, I think, to race in and keep my Project Cars racing going, because obviously the ESL Go 4s have stopped as we just make it around the chicane finally. Coming up to the last corner now, and that's going to be the end of the race. So that was thoroughly enjoyable. I must say I did enjoy that. It was good to come back from 23rd through to 6th position. Very happy, and it looks like Yummy Nutella actually came 7th there as well. So followed me through the field. I got 58.1 in the end, so you know, 56.3 for Jardia. I do need to find the time there. But that's it for now. Thanks very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that race. Video playlist there if you want to watch another Project Cars 2 race. My logo's there if you want to subscribe. As I say, check out the description for Apex Online Racing. But that's it for now. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.